Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Adrian. It's day 12 of Zine Quest. This is the video where I pick a zine on Zine Quest, which is on Kickstarter, and I'll just take you through a little bit more of the details. So this is something that I've seen that I think you, the viewer, subscriber, fan of TTRPGs will actually enjoy. And this one's a little bit personal to me because it has actually been created by a couple of friends of mine. It is for Shadowdark. There's a surprise. But this is actually something that I'm surprised has not been created for Shadowdark as yet. And this is dealing with the zombie apocalypse with some really good changes to the rules. And it's 6 modes of play. I think it's, 4 new classes in here. Rules for things like headshots, new backgrounds. It's just really, really interesting what Dean and Rob have put together here. Now, for full disclosure, Dean has sent me a copy of this. He has said, please do not share all of it if you're going to cover this video for Zine Quest. So he hasn't asked me to do it and has asked if I do cover it, not to show it all. So at the end of the video, I'm going to show a chunk of it, but as much as I think I can safely get away with without annoying a couple of friends, if that makes sense. So I am going to be able to tease this book. But before I get into that, let's just take you over to the Kickstarter page so we can see, here we got Zombie Reign, a grimdark Shadowdark setting in a modern zombie apocalypse. It is fully funded, which is great. So we are just over the $1,000 funding goal. So 45 days to go, 29 backers. Now there's a video here that you can watch. I'm not going to play it because I always get copyright struck whenever I play this because of music. But hopefully I'm covering a lot of the stuff that's in the video. Watch the video, you will find it really useful. So, yep, the world has ended, and it didn't all end at once. It began as shattering reports, riots, disappearances, strange infections ended in silence. Civilizations collapsed beneath the rising tide. Now, the few survivors scavenge the ruins of the former world, driven by fear, hunger, and the flickering hope that somewhere, someone is able to cling to life that most took for granted. So yeah, you are just playing survivors in a zombie apocalypse. Now, I think you'll agree the art cover for this is absolutely amazing. You know what the art style that Rob does is utterly brilliant. So here we go. Welcome to Zombie Reign. It's a survival horror supplement for Shadowdark TTRPG. A copy of the Shadowdark Quick Start rules will be needed to play. You can download them on the Arcane Library website or Drive-Thru RPG for free. So other than this zine, it's not going to cost you anything else to actually play it. This supplement is going to introduce an abundance of new content. We're going to get new backgrounds, as you'd imagine, for sort of the modern setting. But this one's really interesting. New floors table provide the characters with an additional talent at first level. I'm going to show you the floors levels once we actually get to when I'm going to show the zine. We've got 4 new classes to play. So we've got the gym rat, the grifter, the snake, and the nerd. The gym rat, as you'd imagine, is very much a strength based. I'm going to show the gym rat. And I think I'm going to leave the grifter, snake, and the nerd out. Grifter is sort of like the face of the party. So they're charismatic. They used to be an influencer. And now, obviously, since the zombie apocalypse, they're going to use their charm to sort of win people around. The snake is your sort of stealthy, sort of more dexterity-based. You know, they're going to get advantage on climbing and things like that. And then the nerd, very much the intelligent. They're going to be, hopefully, trying to deal with a lot of the sort of intelligent problems and puzzles that you're going to get. That's a huge amount of equipment. I think it's six pages of tables with equipment, and then there's about 2 or 4 actual descriptors. You know, like a proper, like a proper role playing book where it'll list all the equipment, and then it actually has a section beyond that actually breaks down exactly what it is. It's got details of the origins of the virus. There are tables of how the players can actually get corrupted as well, and how they're making their con saves to see how long they can survive once they are infected. There's a load of new monsters here, including infected, the adapted, infected animals, and people, some of which I'll show. So here's an idea of one of the adapted in here. These horrifying, bloated carcasses exude a foul-smelling gas. So this is just a level 2. There is the Einstein, which is a level 4 in here. Obviously, they're going to get the infected abilities, which starts off the monster section, and it will take you through the levels as all the creatures are slowly corrupted. This has got a stench that's going to DC 12 con check or paralyze people, where the Einstein, it burst, expels a cloud of toxic gas when in near to when it is killed, doing con 15 or 2d6 damage, where the Einstein is intelligent, so it uses strategy and hunting while and cunning, sorry, while hunting, and then it's telepathic. It can speak its mind and can mentally control other zombies within near. We've got 6 new games modes, which I'll take you through. There's new setting rules for noise, obviously headshots, because if you're going to kill a zombie, always aim for the head. And then we've got some new fear rules. We've got resolve and despair. There's rules for clearing, securing a safe house to rest, to heal and rebuild. New downtime activities like decompressing, combat training, crafting and professional training. New carousing called A Moments of Peace, and then a 1-page adventure set in an abandoned diner, which is here. Obviously there's a lot of optional equipment. We've got 6 new loot tables and then a custom made character sheet. How much is it going to cost you? It's only going to cost you $12 for the PDF. If you want a physical copy, it's going to cost you $24, but always good when the PDF is included. All in one digital, so if you want the core rulebook, and then we've got some extras for extraterrestrial, fungi, supernatural, technological, toxic chemical and a dead air adventure. That's all included for $24 in here, and then we're just going to see what the add-ons are in here. So the extraterrestrial one, details on the source of the stages of the outbreak, conspiracy theorist class, a new encounter table and new monsters. Then we've got the fungal origin, which details on the source and the stage of the outbreak. Is it mycologist class? I think that's his mycology. That's to do with mushrooms and stuff, isn't it? New encounter tables and monsters. Then we've got the supernatural, which the cultist class. Hopefully we're going to get vampires and werewolves type creatures in there. Technological in here, so we've got a biohacker class. We've got the Avenger class in the toxic chemical, toxic Avenger. Nice, Dean, like it. And then we've got this adventure here. So Howling Dave Masters is still broadcasting recordings of his own show. Each night at 11:05, he comes to life with his listeners of some important information, survivors. Can you make it out of the WXMT alive, or just end up dead like everyone else? That's quite cool. So we've actually got, so you can actually do print copies as well as, did I notice, was there an all-in print and all-in-one print? Yeah, I just skipped past that because I'm an idiot. So $60, you can get everything in print and PDF. Absolute bargain. Everyone should jump on this. If you like zombies, even if you don't, there's some really good additional rules in this core rulebook. So let me show this as spoiler free without getting unfriended by 2 really good friends of mine that have made this. So here we have the front cover for Zombie Rain. So it's a modern Shadowdark setting. I've written down some pages of notes to show. So it's written by Dean Lucius and Rob McNeil, both of which, I say, they're in my Discord. They are patrons of mine as well. So obviously, always thank you for everything and all the support that you're going to give me. But this is Rob's artwork. It's throughout here, which I say I really do love Rob's artwork. So the book will start off with the introduction, which is here. And then we're going to get into a couple of pages of setting. Then the backgrounds, which I'm going to show you. The weird thing is it is hyperlinked as well, which is really cool. Bear in mind, this isn't a finished product, because you can see pending artwork, zombie feet shuffling by. Slight spoiler there. We've got the Gym Rat, Snake, Nerd and Grifter. New languages, alignment. So it still runs with the same alignment that you'd expect from Shadowdark. What's that? So 12 pages of equipment. So there's a lot of equipment in here. The outbreaks of the origin, some adventure hooks, some random tables for adventure generations, adventure hooks. We've got the virus encounters table, apocalyptic locations. Then the beastry here, which is going to take you through the infected, adapted, infected animals, adapted. I'm going to show you some of these monsters as well. New mechanics of play, which is just 6 new modes, some setting rules, resolve and despair rules, then a load of downtime activities, scavenging tables and stuff. I'm not going to worry about the lore, because the lore will be what the lore is, but let's just jump straight into backgrounds. So all Shadowdark characters have a background. So that's what they did before they became the adventurer that you're playing. And in here, so you've got things like retail services, finance, financial advisor, insurance, accounting, corporate finance. But more importantly, over the right-hand side, we've got floors. This is your ability to get an additional talent. So you're going to roll a d20, have whatever the floor is, which is probably going to make you more likely to die quicker, but at least you get an extra talent at first level. So let's just pick 11. 11 is unlucky. Whenever you use a luck token, subtract a d6 from the roll. That's mean. But hey, that's your floor for you. And so we've got another 19 of those. We're just going to have a quick look at the gym rat. So I'm not going to take you through the other three classes in here, but so we've got the gym rat, a muscled athletes more interested in big biceps than brains. These protein powder filled individuals use their imposing physique to solve most problems. They're going to get all melee weapons, thrown weapons, light and heavy pistols, all armor and shields, a d8 hit points, language plus some extras depending if their int is high enough. But they're going to get deadlift once per day. You may consider your strength score to be 18, so +4 for 1 round. If you already have an 18 in it, you probably cheated on your roll. But if you do already have an 18 in it, then treat it as a 20, so you're going to get +5. You're also going to get heavy hitter, so gain +1 to an attack and damage with any weapon that requires strength to wield, including thrown weapons. In addition, half your level to these round down. Ooh, is that better than the original fighter? All the same. I can't quite remember whether the fighter gets +1 to damage and to attack as well as that rounded. Anyway, so you're going to get strong. You have advantage on strength checks to overcome imposing forces, such as kicking down a door or lifting a collapsed beam off an ally or zombie, if you want to get a zombie around. And Roid Rage, once per day, immune to fear checks. Melee attacks are rolled with advantage, and it's going to last for 3 rounds. Okay, let's just skip a little bit further down into the book. So, equipment here, I can see some more artwork. So it's just going to be an idea of like 2 pages of the equipment in here. So we've got new armor rules, as you imagine. It's going to give you a static AC plus your dex, which is really good. We've got some shields in here, so it should feel very much like Shadowdark from the core rulebook. And then we've got some melee weapons, so things like clubs, axes, spears, staffs, stun guns, swords. So you can take a D12 claymore in here, things like machetes and rapiers and such like. So I just want to go and then show you just some of the animals. I'm actually just going to show you the infected animals because I love the artwork, but this is just always makes me sad when standard animals become infected. So we're just going to look at the let's just look at this deer. So once gentle woodland deer with antlers, now is a carnivorous monster. And you're going to see, like we showed on the Kickstarter page, we've got this infected. So the details of the infected on page 46. Okay, we're then going to show you just some of the new rules in here. So we've got the modes of play. So we've got 6 new modes of play that you can sort of swap and change with those in the core rulebook for Shadowdark. So we've got the carrier mode, where all living things are already infected with the virus and will rise as an infected on a d6 rounds after death. The quickness rolled, so they're not going to be, suffer from the slow. They're going to get additional attack per round. We've got a mutant mode. The GM develops 1d4 special zombie types that are very common throughout the world at the start of the outbreak. We can use the adaptation rules. I'm not going to show you those. And there is a 1 in 6 chance that any normal zombie will become the special variant. We've got a scavenger mode, so critical failures while making attacks or using gears or downgrades will break the item. A sleeper mode, some infected fall into sleeper status and appear dead until the living creature comes within close range. Sensing the food, the infection awakes. Then we've got infectious mode. All wounds that do more than 1 hit point of damage require a DC Con 12 check or become infected with harmful bacteria. Each day, make a DC 12 con check or take 1d4 con damage. Wounds can't heal the infected. Repeat this check once per day. Once you get to 0 con, you're going to die. Antibiotics provide advantage on this. We've got some new rules for the setting. So obviously you've got noise in here, which is going to draw attention. Headshots, if you can pull off the headshot, you're going to make that shot a disadvantage, but you're going to immediately take that zombie down to 0 hit points, killing them. And then we've got some fear rules in here too. Okay, and then the last thing I'm just going to show you briefly is the adventure. So here we have the sort of one-shot little adventure is the diner. The PCs are being chased by a large mob of infected, and the country shack diner is the only shelter in sight. So it's going to sort of take you through all the rules of sort of defending and sort of trying to keep going, and it's going to take you through like things about the back rooms, the police cars that is nearby, the dining area as well in there. I think that is all I'm going to show you for now. Hopefully I'll be back once this is more polished and finalized. And what I mean by polished and finalized is the fact that there are a lot of tables in there with text missing, so you kind of know what they're building. You get to see what's coming. But if you're the fan of The Walking Dead or any sort of those zombie movies, I say you can put that movie in, so the Brad Pitt one I can't think of, I knew what it was called before, I started recording, and my brain just goes to mash once the camera's on. So it allows them to sort of just run around. World War Zero, World War Z, I think that might be it. But yeah, it's because you got all these different modes in there. And I'm kind of sad that I can't show more. Well, I probably could show more, but I just don't want to get involved in that. But go and back this, go and support this. If when I'm backing it, this is an unfortunate one, because I know if I don't back this, Dean and Rob are going to send me all the stuff for free. But I'm going to back it anyway, because I want this project to grow. I do love, I think, the good thing about playing zombies type, these sort of adventures, is you can keep them short, you can make them brief for a one-shot. However, because of Shadowdark rules, you could quite easily move this into a sort of campaign. There's enough rules in here to run this for a campaign setting, and then you got all those little sort of expansions that are coming as well. So yeah, I'm really impressed with this. So I haven't been asked to review it. I have got a copy of it which is mostly complete, which is absolutely wonderful. So I will review it at some stage. So if you've enjoyed this, please like, share, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back tomorrow for Zine Quest, another Zine Quest video. So see you then. Thanks for watching.